All right, Shalom. I'm going to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and where I learn this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect. All right, so we'll get into a quick little article showing the lewdness and the wickedness of the so-called white man, which he is not white, he is red. He is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. He, as well as his female counterpart, as well as their offspring. All right, as you can read in the label, it says a white restaurant manager was sentenced to 10 years for enslaving and beating a black man, which he's not black, he's brown. You know what I'm saying? And this is the individual on the screen that did it. All right. All right, document. I got a video. I'm gonna play with it. Been feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm gonna let this app read it, and then I'm gonna filter it through the scriptures. So just bear with me 1 second.
Terrorized and forced to work a 100-hour work week without pay. That was the nightmare one restaurant worker was living through at the J&J cafeteria in Conway, South Carolina. Now the restaurant's manager has pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years for enslaving and beating that black worker. Bobby Paul Edwards pleaded guilty to 1 count of forced labor and was ordered to pay more than $500,000 in damages. He hadn't paid the victim for 5 years. Court documents tell a tale of horror in which Edwards would use racial slurs while beating the victim, who was developmentally challenged. In one incident, Edwards, quote, dipped metal tongs into hot grease and burned the victim's neck for failing to deliver hot chicken to the buffet fast enough. The victim's now in his early 40s, but he had worked at the restaurant since he was 12, most of that time without incident. But when the owner's brother took over, that's when payments stopped. He was given a small room in the restaurant to live in. The nightmare ended after the mother-in-law of a waitress alerted authorities, the assistant AG of the Civil Rights Division saying, "It is almost inconceivable that instances of forced labor endure in this country to this day, a century and a half after the Emancipation Proclamation."
A white restaurant manager was sentenced to 10 years for enslaving and beating a black man. In South Carolina, a white restaurant manager has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for enslaving and beating a black man. Nathan Russo Smith has the story. A white South Carolina restaurant manager has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for enslaving a black worker with an intellectual disability for 5 years, forcing him to work more than 100 hours a week without pay and frequently beating him with a belt, the Justice Department said Thursday. On one occasion, according to the Department of Justice, Bobby Paul Edwards, the manager of J&J Cafeteria in Conway, South Carolina, dipped metal tongs into hot grease and burned the victim's neck for failing to deliver fried chicken to the buffet quickly. Edwards yelled at the victim and used racial slurs to belittle and demean him, the Justice Department said in announcing the sentencing. In addition to the prison sentence, Edwards was required to pay the worker, John Christopher Smith, more than $500,000 in damages, including $272,000 in the back pay he never received. Smith's ordeal finally ended in 2014 when the mother-in-law of a waitress notified authorities of the abuse. "It is almost inconceivable that instances of forced labor endure in this country to this day, a century and a half after the Emancipation Proclamation," said Assistant Attorney General Eric Dryband of the Civil Rights Division. Bobby Paul Edwards, of Conway, pleaded guilty to 1 count of forced labor. Horry County Sheriff's Office. Prosecutors say Smith, who is described as having a mild cognitive impairment, began working at J&J Cafeteria as a dishwasher in 1990 at the age of 12. Smith, now in his early 40s, eventually dropped out of school and took up a full-time, paid job at the restaurant, which was owned by Edwards' extended family. That all changed around 2009 when Edwards took over operation of the cafeteria and simply quit paying Smith, who was given a small room at the back of the restaurant. "You're not a serial killer, right?" Victim text messaged man before she died. For 5 years, according to court documents, Smith, who eventually became a buffet cook, was required to work more than 100 hours, from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Sunday, without a day off and without pay. Edwards used violence, threats of violence, verbal abuse, and threats of taking Smith to jail in order to compel him to keep working at J&J, according to the court documents. At times, the court said Edwards would beat Smith with a belt or hit him with kitchen items, such as pans, and punch him with his fists either because he believed the man worked too slowly or had done something wrong on the job. In a federal lawsuit filed in 2015 on Smith's behalf, he compared Edwards to a slave driver who would yell racial slurs at him. At one point, the suit charged Edwards threatened to stomp his throat and beat him until people would not recognize him. Plaintiff was heard crying like a child and yelling, "No, Bobby, please." After this beating, defendant Bobby forced plaintiff to get back to work, the complaint said. In 2015, after Edwards' arrest, Smith told WMBF-TV that he had been physically abused for years. "He would beat me with belts and all that," Smith said. "Take the tongs to the grease on my neck." Smith said he wanted Edward to go to prison, and "I want to be there when he go." Click to show more.
The book of Obadiah, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right, and this is talking about Esau. We're going to jump back up to verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High Yahweh, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. All right, so this is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, which he is not white. That motherfucker is red, as well as his female counterpart, as well as their little dirty red-ass children. You know what I'm saying? They're the children of the devil. You know what I'm saying? The children of Cain reincarnated through the line of Esau. All right, so jumping back down, then you know Obadiah is directed at the heathen, but primarily Esau. All right, so going to verse 8, it says, shall I not in that day, saith the Most High Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So Esau, Edom is going to be cut off forever for the violence in which he's committed against Jacob. And this goes all the way back to Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? When Cain was jealous of Abel. You know what I'm saying? And it also goes back to when Rebekah was pregnant with the twins, Jacob and Esau, how they were fighting and struggling in the womb together. You know what I'm saying? And Esau made a declaration back then in Genesis. I think it's Genesis 27. Let me get it right quick. All right, this is Genesis 27 and 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you fucking Edomites look to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native Americans are being gunned down and shot down and just being ultimately destroyed through this man's system. You know what I'm saying? He poisons the food. He poisons the air. You know what I'm saying? He's a pharmaceutical demon. You know what I'm saying? He has all you people on his fucking pills and whatnot, which that's starting to destroy his nation more than it's destroying the Israelite nation. You know what I'm saying? Because as we get more and more afflicted, we just produce more and more. You know what I'm saying? We just reprocreate more and more. And now a lot of these children that are coming from the Israelite nations are a bunch of demons. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai said he wasn't going to utterly destroy the house of Jacob. This is Malachi 3 and 6. It says, for I am the Most High Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Israelites, code word for the house of David, code word for the elect, is going to be saved. This is the Israel of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, is not coming back for the whole house of Israel on this side. He's only coming back for the house of Jacob, the 1/3, the house of David. Salakia, you know what I'm saying? The house of Jacob, house of David. All right. So now we're going to go to Ezekiel 25. We're gonna jump down to verse 12. It says, thus said the Most High Yahweh power, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and had greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus said the Most High Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Most High Yahweh. Alright, so Yahweh Shema Shai is going to use his house of David, his elect, his 144, to go out here, you know what I'm saying, and pay you fucking heathen back for what you did to Yahweh Shema Shai's people. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Amos chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So Esau hated the Israelites, the children of Jacob, way back when he was Cain. He hated them when he was Esau, so he hates them today. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun. All right. So Esau, Edom, you are the devil, you know what I'm saying? And you 2/3 Negro, Hispanics, and Native Americans who haven't woke up to that, it's because Yahweh Shema Shai ultimately doesn't want you to wake up to it. He's going to destroy you, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to Psalms chapter 17 and 13. All right, because man's goings are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? So like you about that. Psalm 17, verse 13. All right, it reads, arise, O Most High Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right, so Esau, Edom is the sword of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? He is the wicked as well, as we're going to read right here in Malachi 1 and 4. But we're going to start at verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Most High Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Most High Yahweh, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people whom the Most High Yahweh hath indignation forever. All right, so Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai said he has righteous hatred and anger with you fucking devils forever. And we read in Malachi 3 and 6 that the Lord doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? So if he hated you that day, he hated you then, he's going to hate you today. You know what I'm saying? And that's also in Romans. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Romans chapter 9. All right. When you go down to verse 8, it says, we'll start at verse 7. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall seed be called. All right, so Abraham had a lot of children, but Yahweh Shema Shai let you know he's only dealing with the seed that came from Isaac. You know what I'm saying? And Isaac had 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. You know what I'm saying? And Jacob got the blessing. You know what I'm saying? Esau trying to stop my phone. This lesson's coming out, devil. All right, so continuing on, it says, that is they which are children of the flesh. These are not children of Yahweh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise, at this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children not being yet born, neither having done any good or evil. And then when it says haven't done any good or evil, it's talking about in that lifetime, because everybody comes back, you know what I'm saying, in their light. You know what I'm saying? You're either going to come back in a righteous light or you're going to come back in a wicked light. It's one or the other. But at this point in time, when Jacob and Esau were in the womb, that was Cain and Abel in the reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? For those who can understand it. So I'm going to read it again. It says, for the children not being yet born, neither having done any good or evil in this life, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. All right, so it's Yahweh Shema Shai said, hell no. So when a lot of people read these scriptures, they think, you know what I'm saying, it's 2 twin babies in the womb, neither one is done good or evil. How can they be hated already? Because Yahweh Shema Shai is a great king of this earth. You know what I'm saying? He is a terrible demon-like power. You know what I'm saying? He does what the fuck he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why his nickname was Alashaki from the heathen. You know what I'm saying? Terrible demon-like power. All right. And Esau came out before Jacob. And Jacob held Esau's heel. You know what I'm saying? That's why Jacob is the supplanter. We're gonna supplant you fucking Edomites. You know what I'm saying? We supplanted you then, and we're gonna supplant you on this side. We just waiting on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to rise up to the prey. And as a reason, Jeremiah 16:16, these fishermen, which we in the fishing state right now, gonna turn to hunters. And that's when we coming for your bitch ass, Esau. Let me get that scripture. We're gonna close out with that. All right, because there wasn't no need to make this too long. You know what I'm saying? We don't feel bad for that damn, you know what I'm saying, that damn person that Esau did that to, because ultimately, you know what I'm saying, man's goings are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? We are all back here today for judgment. You know what I'm saying? So if you are an individual who's slow of mind, it's because Yahweh Shah created you to be slow of mind. You know what I'm saying? If he's gonna have mercy on you, he'll have mercy on you. If not, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna give you up to the sword, as we read in Psalm 17:3, which is Esau Edom. All right, so to close out, this is Jeremiah 16:16. It says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Most High Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and from the holes of the rock." All right, so no matter where you fucking Edomites try to hide when this destruction takes place, the men of Yahweh Shema Shah are going to have spiritual powers to find you, and we're going to bring you out of your fucking hiding place. We're going to put your bitch ass in chains. Well, let me take that back. If you're a lower level Edomite, you're going to be put to death. Point blank, period, simple. But if you're one of these topper echelon Edomites, you're going to duck the nuclear missiles only to be preserved to be a first fruit of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you Edomites are going, as well as you other fucking heathen nations. You know what I'm saying? All of you bitches are going into slavery. All right. So we're going to close out with that. Let me give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and where I learn this truth. Peace and salutations to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's elect, Kwam Yasharala, and Abba Babal.